It's Domi Domingo Nursery. My name is Emma and I'm the manager here. We were awarded Outstanding by Ofsted in 2019, which is something we're really proud of. What we aim to do today is a series of videos to show you around our nursery in these unprecedented times. We feel it's really important that you do still have a look around our nursery before registering your children. So we'll start here in the entrance hall. This is our staff notice board with all of our staff who currently work here. As you can see, they're recognisable by the blue t-shirts that they wear or the Domi Domingo jackets that we have as well. We're really proud that as a nursery we promote staff training, and we're very passionate about our staff being the best that they can be. So our staff are very, very highly qualified. Myself as a manager, I'm a qualified teacher. We also have other teachers. We have some level 6 members of staff, some level 5 members of staff, all the way through to our apprentices who we encourage to train a little bit further. So we do start with some unqualified staff, but they all access different training, and we help them to do level 2 or level 3 and then progress as far as they want to. In our nursery, we're also very proud of our certificate wall here. So we have our Investors in People Award, which shows that we do a lot of training for our staff, and we really passionately invest in our staff, which obviously means that our staff are more knowledgeable, that they understand early years a little bit more, and they provide a better education for our children. We also have our Soil Association Award. We are particularly proud of this. We are an organic nursery, so the majority of the food that we serve is organic. And in a minute, I will show you an example of a menu that we have as well. And we also have our Scope Disability Award. Again, something we're really passionate about is providing a good education for any child in Leeds or any child in our area, regardless of what additional needs they may have. And we went through a whole scheme of work to achieve this award, which shows that we consider any child's needs and we cater to match their needs and cater for their abilities as much as we can. I'll take you and show you an example of our menu up here. So our menus change depending on the season, and we have a very talented chef who provides our food daily, and it's all freshly prepared on site. Because it is all freshly prepared on site, it means that we can cater for any dietary requirements. So it doesn't matter what dietary requirement your child has, we can cater, we can provide and prepare food in accordance with that. We try and get as many portions of fruit and veg in there as possible. So you can see we have scrambled eggs, we have fruit porridge, blueberry porridge for example. For lunch, we start with a vegetarian soup. So all of the children in our nursery, including our babies, have soup, but our staff are always there to promote and to support with that feeding. We do find that our babies very quickly get used to bringing the spoon to their mouths in order to be able to eat the soup. Then we have our main lunchtime meal. So our main meal at nursery is our lunchtime meal. So we have the soup and then we have a main course. We do have some vegan children, and what we do is we do a one meat dish and then we have a vegetarian equivalent as well. That's the same for all of the meals in nursery. And if we do obviously have vegan children, then they wouldn't be having scrambled eggs, it would be a different meal that they'd be having for their breakfast. Our tea time is a little bit of a lighter meal. So we have things such as courgette pancakes, couscous salad, frittata. Our menu changes on a 3 weekly basis, so the children eat different meals every week, but then obviously the fourth week go back to the first week on the menu. And as I mentioned earlier, it does change depending on the season, so our chef looks at what fruit and vegetables are in season and plans a menu around that. Okay, so in our nursery we have 3 rooms. We have a baby room, a toddler room and a preschool room. This is our main corridor here. So just here is our preschool room, which you'll get a chance to see in a moment. Okay, so in our nursery, we very firmly and passionately believe in the moment planning and children learning through play. Basically what that means is that we don't plan a lot of activities for our children. What we do is every key person in our nursery gets to know their key children really well, and we look at what their interests are and look at what they're playing with in nursery. We'll observe your child, watch their play, and then when it's the right time to join their play, we will join in and develop their learning through their own interests, so through their own play. The advantage of this is that we're not just sitting down with every child and trying to get the same learning objective from every child. That doesn't work. All children are different, and you will know what your child is very interested in. We will feed into those interests and develop the learning through those interests. So if, for example, your child is really interested in dinosaurs, what we might do is wait for an invitation to join their play. We might then look at naming the dinosaurs. We might use the internet to find out some more information about them. We might begin to maybe make some dinosaur caves and put numbers on the caves and put numbers on the dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs have to go to the right homes. So there's lots and lots of different opportunities and ways that we can extend your children's learning through their own interests. Every child in our nursery has got a key person. So throughout our nursery, we have display boards which shows which members of staff have which key children. And when we're doing transition between rooms, there's a very, very clear movement of the children, but also of the information. And our staff have meetings between themselves in order to enable that transition to happen as smoothly as it can. Okay, we'll go and have a look at the baby room now, which is just at the back of this side of our nursery. The advantage of that is that it's quieter, it's away from the busyness of the parents coming into the corridor. So we can have up to 7 children in our baby room. We generally work on 6. It can sometimes be higher depending on transition, if some babies are ready to move into our toddler room and we're getting some new babies in. But we'll go and have a look. So this is our baby room. As you can see, it's quite a small room, which I think is really beneficial that we can't have too many babies in here at one time. We have 3 members of staff who work in here, and generally we try and make sure that we always have the same members of staff. If we have 6 babies, we have 2 members of staff working. Regardless of how many babies we work to the government ratios throughout our nursery. But if we had 7 babies in here, we would have 3 members of staff. So the government ratios are 1 member of staff to 3 babies. So as you can see in this room, it is a small room, but we try and focus very much on sensory play. So this is our sensory area down here, which encourages babies to feel different textures. It encourages them to listen to different sounds, to explore their physical skills, and begin to move to get the resources that they want to have a feel of or want to play with as well. So a lot of our play in the baby room is based around sensory play, but we do also promote maths, and we also promote early reading. So we have a selection of baby books there. Maths at this age is very much building, maybe putting blocks on top of each other or doing inset puzzles, beginning to explore numbers in different ways, and also through a lot of nursery rhymes and singing that we do as well. We very much focus on early speaking and personal and social skills. Obviously, for your baby that's coming into this room, it could potentially be the first time that they've left you. So we do a very, very gradual settling in process. A lot of nurseries say that they might do 2 or 3 settling in sessions. We can honestly say we would do as many as is needed. So if it takes 20 sessions for your baby or for your child to settle in, that's absolutely fine. We will go with 20 sessions. What's really important for us as a nursery is that your baby's settled, but also that you are happy. If you're returning to work, you need to be happy that your baby is confident and comfortable in nursery, so that you don't have that additional worry when you go back to work. Okay, so we're also very lucky because we have an outside door. So our babies do access outside play as well, and that's on a daily basis. Throughout our nursery, we believe in outdoor play regardless of the weather. It's much healthier for our children to be outside. So we do promote that right from the baby room all the way through our nursery. So we will see the outside area in a different video that you can watch in 2 minutes. Our babies do share the outside area with the toddlers, which again works really well in terms of transition and in terms of when they're ready to move up. They already know the children in that room. Some of them will have had a little wander into the toddler room as well, and they're already familiar with the staff in there. In our baby room, we try to be as similar in terms of routine of what you are at home. So when your baby starts with us, we find out details about when your baby has a sleep, if they have a particular sleeping routine, if they have any comforters, and we try and model that at nursery to make the transition into nursery as easy as possible. For sleeping, we do have some cots and we also have mattresses on the floor. So again, we listen to what you do at home in terms of sleeping and then decide if your child would sleep in a mattress or in a cot. We don't have a set time for sleeping. We very much go on what your routine is. So if your child has a sleep at 10 o'clock in the morning, that's absolutely not a problem. We will continue that at nursery. We very much base the children's sleeping pattern on their individual needs. For our meal times in the baby room, all of our babies sit in a horseshoe shape in high chairs. So it's in this area here. And the members of staff sit and support the babies with their eating. We also have communication books. So in the communication books, we write details about what your baby has eaten during the day, also details of their sleep pattern, and then what they've played with or what they've done during the day as well, different experiences that they've had. We also have a system called Tapestry. Tapestry is our online journal, and it's fantastic for us to be able to share with you the observations that we've done on your child during the day. It's also really, really nice because parents share with us videos or photographs or things that you're really proud of that your child has achieved at home. And it builds up a complete picture of your child's early years and their learning when they're very young. When your child does leave our setting, we can put that on a memory stick for you, which is really nice for the videos and photographs, or we can send it to you as a PDF format. But it's a really nice record of what your child has achieved while they're at nursery and while they're at home in their very early years.
Hello, I'm Linville and I'm the Deputy Manager of Domi Domingo Day Nursery. I'm going to show you around the toddler room, which is also known as our bunnies room. If you'd like to follow me. So this room holds up to 25 children from a range of 18 months to 2.5 years. We also operate on a ratio. We operate in 2 ratios in this room. We'll have a tour around the toddler room. So this room holds up to 25 children and the age is from 18 months to 2.5 years. We operate on a ratio. We operate on 2 ratios. 1 staff member to 3 children from the age of 18 months to 2 years, and then from 2 years, 1 staff member to 4 children. As you can see, we have different areas of effective learning where the children can play and explore. Staff pride themselves on providing different resources. A lot, as you can see, is natural materials we bring from the outdoors, and the rest that we provide in hope that they would learn through play. So on this side we have the sound and water area, the creative area, and we also have some tabletop activities as well. And in each of those areas we have displays showing the children's experiences. This is our lovely maths area, an investigating area where the children can begin to explore colours and numbers from 1 to 5. This is our story area. As you can see, we have different varieties of books where the children can learn basic stories such as The Hungry Caterpillar and The Tiger That Came to Tea and The Gruffalo. Over in this area we have the music and movement area where the children can explore sounds, and as you can see we have different tabletop activities, and in the far corner we have got the construction and small world.
Hello, so this is our toddler and baby room outside provision. As I mentioned earlier, the toddlers and the babies share this area. So if we go to the back over here, this is the baby area. So it's a quiet corner of our outdoor provision, and we have a door here where our babies come out from. So as you can see, we've got different resources here that the babies can use outside. We try to bring some different learning opportunities outside to what the babies will get inside. That's throughout nursery, in all of our outdoor provision. We try to promote different learning opportunities outside. As much as this is a baby area, they can wander into the rest of the toddler area as well. So if we just turn you around here, so this is really good for the children's gross motor skills, so they begin to climb up the steps there, and obviously they have the slide to come down. We do have members of staff here to support our children when they are coming down the slide, especially the first couple of times when they might not be as confident. We've tried to, in our outdoor provision, we've tried to provide as many natural resources as possible. We're conscious that we're in between two roads that lead into town, but we want it to be as natural for our children as possible. And one of the massive beautiful things that we've got in our nursery is this conker tree, which gives us lovely natural shade in the summer, but it also provides us with amazing natural resources in the autumn. So we do make use of the conkers, of the twigs, of the leaves. And during the summer, in the summer months, we will sometimes have lunch or have tea time out here. It gives us lots of lovely natural shade in this part of our nursery. So just showing you around the rest of our outdoor provision out here, we've got our mud kitchen. So our children can do some digging in this area here to use with the mud kitchen. We're trying to get as many real resources in for our children as possible. We're trying to get away from a lot of plastic, but provide real resources for our children so their play is more meaningful and real for them. So for example, we've got the sieves, we've got the real pans out here. We've got the real measuring jugs for them rather than child-sized versions instead. We've got our digging area here, and on this side of our outdoor provision we have our ride-on toys. So we have a huge selection of ride-on toys, and we have this road here that the children can ride down. We've also got various stations where the children can do mark making, they can do some dancing. We have a sand tray as well, so the children can access sand out here. We have a playhouse, we have a teepee, we have our bus that's really popular for our children, so they can role play being on the bus or train or car or whatever they want that to be. And then just over in the corner we have our planting area, so the children can help with planting, and we have different textures in that planter as well. We're really lucky that in our outside area we also have an outside tap, so the children can access the outside tap with their watering cans and with their buckets. They can water the plants that we've got out here. We do a lot of planting with them. We also in the summer do things like car washes and a lot of water play outside, which the children really enjoy. Preschool room, sometimes called the rabbits room, which follows on of our theme of rabbits throughout nursery. Children come into our preschool room when they're aged around 2.5, but it does depend on their stages of development. We don't have a set age when children come through. We very much talk to parents and decide on that, and then also look at where they're working and their levels that they're working at. So in our preschool room, as throughout nursery, we have a lot of different providers who come in and support our children. So just to show you this board up here, which details some of them. So we have Pyjama Drama on Tuesday mornings. Pyjama Drama is very much focused around drama and acting out stories. We have Mini Scientists in preschool on a Wednesday. They come fortnightly on Wednesday mornings, so we do a lot of science experiments, which supports our children's critical thinking and questioning skills. We have Spanish on a Wednesday afternoon, so we have Kath who comes in and does our Spanish. I can say that the children absolutely adore Kath. She's fantastic, and they pick up some very basic Spanish words and Spanish sentences, which is amazing for our children to be able to speak at least 2 languages from a very young age. And then we have Susan who does our Diddy Dance. So Diddy Dance happens in preschool, and it also happens in toddler room. And Diddy Dance happens on a Thursday morning, and it's a fantastic way for our children to explore their bodies, explore how their bodies work. It also enables our children to explore lots of different types of music and how they can move to those different types of music. And Susan, when she comes in, brings lots of resources such as coloured scarves and hoops and ribbons and rainbows and things that the children can explore as well. So let's go and have a look at preschool. So, as I mentioned, when the children come in here, they're aged around 2.5, and they stop here until they leave school. Sorry. Some of our parents decide to keep their children here for the reception year, so we have to make sure that our resources are aimed at children from 2.5 all the way up until they leave. We also have some children who do an after-school club, and the after-school club takes part in this room as well. So we do have resources for older children, and some of our books will reflect that as well. So just to take you on the top, this is our carpet area. So in our preschool room, we have the same beliefs and same ethos throughout our nursery, that we have free flow play, we do learning through play, we do in the moment planning as well. So throughout nursery, we try to avoid doing set activities, and we very much go with what the children are interested in. What we do in preschool is we do a numberland, we do a phonics carpet time, and we do what we call active learning. So Numberland prepares our children for moving up to school in terms of their maths and their number skills. So it's a very comprehensive scheme of work that we do. It doesn't just teach children about recognising number 2. It teaches children that number 2 has got a shape, as in the number, but also it means 2 objects. But what we also do with Numberland is we link it to shapes as well. So we know that number 2 is a character actually in Numberland. He lives on Numberland number 2, which is the shape of a semicircle, so it's a shape with 2 sides. Number 3 lives at number 3, which is a triangle, which is a shape with 3 sides. So from a very early age, we are linking numbers to shapes, but we're also linking to the concepts of numbers. So it's very much maths mastery from a very young age. So we're teaching them not just a number shape, but actually what that number means. So that's what happens in Numberland. So that would take place on the carpet or throughout the room, on a morning and afternoon for a very short session. At the same time, we have phonics running. So phonics, it's again teaching them very early reading skills. So it's teaching them about identifying different sounds, recognising different sounds, making different sounds. For our more able children, it's about identifying some letter shapes, some letter names, and then very, very early segmenting and blending. And then we also, while that's happening, we also have a group called Active Learning. So that's for the children in this room who aren't quite ready to sit down and do Numberland and phonics. But it's very much what it says on the tin. It's about learning while they're active. So it's about having a focused learning objective in that group. So it might be something like making sandcastles. It might be practicing our cutting skills. But they're doing it through an activity that incorporates them being busy and being active rather than sitting down and doing some focused learning in a group. So those are the planned learning activities we have. Those take place on the morning and afternoon. So if your child attended for a full day, they might do, for example, phonics in the morning and then Numberland in the afternoon. Okay, running alongside that, the children have access to our beautiful provision in here. So I'll take you on a tour of the provision that we've got. So we have our different tables where we set up tabletop activities that the children can explore and visit when they want to. So some really good examples of that are threading activities so they can develop their fine motor skills. We have a huge array of different types of books, and we very much promote stories through our story times that we have, but also children can access them independently if they want to. We have different resources available. All of our resources are available for children to access independently, and we try and promote that independence throughout our nursery so they can go and choose what they want to play with. We have examples of different building blocks that we use for our children, and behind we have our lovely construction area. Again, we try and get as many natural resources to children as possible. Construction is quite a big area in our preschool because we find that our boys really enjoy playing in the construction area, but our girls also visit it, and it is one of our most popular areas, which is why we need the bigger space. We normally have our sand and water areas here, but because of current circumstances, we won't actually have sand and water play in nursery, so we are improvising with different things that we can put in there for children still to be able to access this area. And as you can see, we have displays with keywords on and numbers, etc. that help promote learning when children are playing in these areas. So if we go around here, we have our creative area. Again, a really big area in nursery because our children really enjoy painting, they really enjoy gluing and sticking. We do have a Play-Doh area in the corner, but again, because of current circumstances, we wouldn't have Play-Doh out at the moment, but we do have facilities for that. And then one of the biggest areas in our preschool is our small world area. So this changes depending on the children's interests. At the moment it's set up as a house, but we also do hairdressers, we do Santa's grotto. It very much depends on what the children's interests are. And again, throughout nursery, we look at the children's interests and we set up areas depending on them. So if the children are really interested in hairdressers, then we would set up a hairdresser for them. Okay, I'll take you to have a look outside. So, as I mentioned before, in preschool, we operate 3 floors. We do in the toddler room, so the children can choose to play outside if they want to. So this door is normally open throughout the day. The only time it's closed is meal times, and then in the focus Numberland and phonics time that happens in the morning and in the afternoon. Okay, this is our outside area for our preschool. So unlike the other side, it is just the preschool children who access this area. We're really lucky we have a really big area for our children. So I'll take you on a little tour and just point out some of the areas that we've got here. So this area down here, this is our sand pit, so the children can explore sand both inside and outside under normal circumstances. We have our weighing scales here. Again, a different way to explore maths outside, so the children can find resources and try and make them level or try and work out which is heavier and lighter. Around here, we have these different cupboards down this bit where the children can access different resources. So as you can see, we've got a number cupboard there, so the children can access the resources independently there. We have this concrete bit here, which we also, again, we can do things like car washes, we can do planting down here, but we also have this lovely area up here. So I'll take you on a tour up here and show you some of the things that we've got. So one of the things that we've tried to do in our nursery is make sure that the resources in our nursery definitely show progression. So an example of that is the climbing frame. So the climbing frame next door had a slide and footwells to climb up. Here obviously we've got the bar, we've got the ropes, we've got the monkey bars and things. So it's there for the children to access at their level when they want to. We've also got this table here. We're very lucky because we do forest schools in our nursery, so we have a forest school leader. So we're trying to promote forest schools throughout all of the rooms, but in particular in the preschool. So there's often quite a lot of forest school work that goes on here, so there's a lot of whittling. We also do things like campfires, which happens down there, so we'll toast marshmallows with the children. And it's a fantastic way to teach children about skills that we might have learned as children, but they might not get the opportunity to learn generally nowadays, but also about extra health and safety. So for example, our children know that when we're doing campfires, we always wear gloves so we're not going to get burned, and that there's a member of staff who's there to support them and light the fire, and they get a chance to ask those questions around that and to experience that opportunity in a very safe environment. So up here we have our planting area, so the children can choose to plant here, to dig if they want to use some of the soil. The far corner up there generally is where the children do the digging, but we also have these plants here that the children help water, as we also have an outside tap in this area of our nursery as well, so the children can access using watering cans and buckets, and then they can water the plants as they want to. We have our tunnels for the children to go through, and then in the far corner we also have our tyres, so the children can set an obstacle course if they would like to. And then we've also got these resources down here which they can also use as tables or use in an obstacle course if they so wish. We have our role play house here which doubles up, again, depending on what the children are interested in. It doubles up as the Santa's grotto, it can be Goldilocks and the Three Bears, it can be Little Red Riding Hood. And round here we have our wheel toys. So on a normal day the children would access these and take them around the climbing frame and use all of the space available, including the concrete space down there. And then just down there, the children have access to this area down here. We have our bug kitchen and our water play, so the children can access down there as well if they want to. We're really lucky at Domi Domingo Nursery because next door we have Domi Domingo Hub, which is a space that our staff use, but it's also a space that's available for our children to use when it's not booked out. So in Domi Domingo Hub we have 2 sensory rooms. So the babies and the toddlers come through and use this area, but also any children with additional needs who would benefit from using this area, it's here for them to use as well. So in our sensory rooms we have 2 rooms. We have a coloured room, which is the one behind me, and then we have a black and white room. So we'll go into both rooms so you can have a look around. Okay, we'll start with the coloured room. So this is our second room, this is our black and white room, and this is particularly useful for our babies. A lot of studies have shown that babies really respond to black and white in the first couple of months of their life, as they're beginning to process patterns and beginning to process colours. So this room is aimed very much at them. However, again, all children in nursery can use this, and children with additional needs can have their one-to-one time in here. So in the hub we have these 2 rooms. We have an additional space outside with a sound tray in, and space for children to do jigsaws and look at books. And we find that these rooms are best used when the staff from the baby room and the toddler room come through with children in small groups. We can put some music on. The children have access to different sensory experiences in a different environment to their room and to their outside area. This space is also available for private hire, so we also rent it out for things like birthday parties.